Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. It's Cocktails and Classics.
Oh, no.
This week, we watched Die Hard, the long-debated Christmas movie. I'm your host, Dylan. Joining me this week are Zach, Ben, and Cam. And our first ever guest on the show, author, filmmaker, musician, Randall Cooper.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Thank you. Thank you.
Randall and I, we collaborate a bit. We're good friends. Randall, and we kind of just wanted to get your gauge on movies. I know your taste. We talk a lot, but for everyone else.
Yeah, I was texting Dylan earlier, and I was basically saying, before we get into this, I think we need to establish a baseline for movies. So I asked Dylan to come up with a list of our most controversial movie-rated picks, and you're basically going to tell us how you feel about them.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it.
Should we go on like a high-low or like?
I think you don't tell him the context, and you just throw out the thing. Like, no context, this is the movie.
Not
Go.
the movie, The Thing. We all know how everyone felt about that, but like other movies.
Yeah, you just throw out the movie and then get his unbiased take on it, how we felt, and then we'll just discuss from there.
Sounds fun.
So this one, I know you feel one way or the other on this one. We'll start with Heathers. What'd you think on that?
Oh, I'd give that like a 9.
Would you like to explain why?
Yeah, I'd love to. I just think it's a unique script, and it's something I don't really see a whole lot of, and it's definitely a dark comedy, and it's like, I feel like it parodies dialogue in a lot of movies during that time, and it also kind of like turns John Hughes on his head, and John Hughes has some like problematic themes in his movie, and like that movie knowingly leans into them. And just kind of, it feels like a parody in some ways, and it's over the top, and it's fun, and it's quotable, I think.
It is quotable. I'll give you that. I gave it a pretty middling rating, but how would you feel if I told you somebody gave it a 2?
I might call them a normie, and then they don't get it.
All right, now
Fuck
what's the
me
different
with a
advice?
chainsaw.
But
What's
would
the
you
different
quote?
advices?
Would you quote this movie in public, like at a restaurant, and you're talking with a friend, and you'd be like, "Fuck me gently with a chainsaw" in public?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't scream it from mountaintops or anything, but I
But if the
might.
situation arose,
Yeah,
naturally.
yeah, you got to be in the right company, sort of a thing. But another thing too, I wanted to mention is that the set design in that movie is killer, and some of the shots are
I get
really
the joke.
pretty.
I get the joke.
Killer, ha.
Yes.
Doo-doo.
I wasn't going for a pun there.
Oh, then you're gonna have a tough time on this podcast.
Another one that has, I think originally it wasn't as controversial, but now I would say maybe, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow, you know what? I'm so fortunate. I just saw that movie for the first time like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Wow.
So
what do you think?
What would you give it? What would you?
I give it an 8.
Wow,
Ooh.
that's really high.
Yeah, that would be higher than everyone else on here, actually.
Really?
The highest here
Wow.
was a 7.5.
No kidding.
And honestly,
I'm-
I would downgrade it after watching it. Or not watching it again, but after thinking about it more.
I was gonna say it's interesting because I would probably, and I know it's hindsight, but the fact that season 1 was going really subjectively, I probably would have ranked that movie higher.
You guys have reviewed a ton of movies that I haven't watched, and it takes me forever to watch a movie. So I just didn't listen to that episode in particular because I'm like, well, damn, I haven't seen that yet. So had to pass.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 7 at the time, but I don't know. I think I was too overhyped on it, and my expectations were not met. Like, it was basically like kind of full of plot holes and like, I don't know.
I can't think of any plot holes off the top of my head.
The biggest one is just like, I don't know, maybe it's nitpicky, but at the very end, it's like they get to this, essentially it's like, they're like, oh, we can't find this area, right? We can't find the crypt or whatever we're trying to find. We're trying to find the Lost Ark. And it's like, they finally find it, and Indiana Jones in this tomb that has been like sealed off forever and no one's gone in there, right? And they finally like find a way out, and it's like right next to the helipads where like the bad guys are like taking the Ark. And it's like, It was right next to them the whole time, and they didn't like think to just knock down the wall. And, like,
It's because Nazis are stupid, Cameron. USA.
They did open the ark.
USA.
I sort of, with a lot of movies, I just check my brain at the door and I don't really think things through too much at all. I just kind of buy into it, unless something's like so outrageous that it pulls me out of the movie and I'm like, okay, all right, I can't do it. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
now that you mention that, that's a very good point.
I think that is a good thing. Like, if for a movie to just completely sell you on it is good enough, because it's like, you know, half the ideas in movies are like, come on, really? Like this would
Yeah.
never happen in this situation, but you buy it because you're having
Well,
fun and it works. To
I
an
get
extent.
that to a point, but like it has to make sense in the universe or whatever, right? Like, it's like, of course, like, you know, Independence Day, aliens aren't probably gonna come and, like, you know, try and destroy our entire planet, but like,
But if they did, we'd have to spend 4 hours watching it.
it was a good movie. You
get
shut your
to.
mouth.
Get to. That speech is my morning alarm. That's how I wake up in the morning, is to Bill Pullman.
That's why Zach always wakes up with a chubby.
I was just gonna say that's why Zach always says morning wood.
Oh my god. Are there any other ones on there?
I don't know if you've seen it, but fan favorite. Well, not fan favorite.
you're-
One of our favorites. One
of our most
QB
controversial.
Halloween. Have you seen the?
I saw you guys reviewed it, but I have no idea what that movie even is.
It's a 2020 Netflix movie starring Adam Sandler where he basically reprises a ton of his older movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you're a huge
Haven't
fan
seen it.
of,
So there's a lot of Easter eggs in the movie for the
If you're-
true Sandler fans.
Yeah, if you're a big
Sand
Sandman
fans?
guy,
Used to be. I used to be a huge fan when I was younger, but
Yeah, when his
Whoa.
movies were good.
I know you love Uncut Gems.
I did like Uncut Gems a lot.
It did not have any references to
There's no
There is-
Uncut Gems references, but there's
Yes.
plenty of great ones like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, the
Little
O'Doyles
Nicky,
are in
even, I
it.
think.
there's
Little
a bunch
Nicky,
of
yeah.
there's also a bunch of references to like Jack and Jill and his other movies, and that they suck.
How
Well,
about
premise
Clockwork Orange?
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Premise alone, I'd give Hoobie Halloween like a 5. Just based on
fair.
everything you just told
That's
me.
already
more
like the
generous than you
second
were on the
highest
whole
rating
movie.
on QB Halloween.
Hold me to this. That is the most
that-
proud
that-
I've ever
that-
been of a trivia section.
That would be the highest rating.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow,
god!
Really? It was that bad? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So maybe a 2.
Oh,
You can't go
That would
retroactive.
be tied
That's
for the
not how the
lowest.
game works.
it currently sits at a 2.88 from us. That was our average rating.
But we watched the movie. You haven't yet. So you should go watch it and maybe you'll change your mind.
Some of us watched it a lot.
Some of
Zach
us
did watch
it
it 6.5 times.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6.5.
Now that we've got a little bit of a taste of your idea on movies, you've listened to the show, so you know every week we pair a cocktail with the movie. For this week's cocktail, we did the Yippee-Ki-Yay Motherfucker from Britt Crawford.
You
It's
said
a
motherfucker
spicy-
like Tommy Wiseau just there. Motherfucker.
I mean, Hans Gruber kind of sounds like an off-brand
No,
Tommy
Hans
Wiseau.
Gruber says "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuck."
Motherfucker. It's a spicy variant on the old fashioned, a tribute to John McClane, and it's a terrible pun. It is 2 ounces of bourbon, 1/4 ounce of maple syrup, a dash of cayenne pepper, a dash of Angostura bitters, and a twist of lemon. Stir that around, throw it on the rocks. It's pretty good. I used Larceny. Britt recommends Buffalo Trace.
I almost
also-
did the Buffalo Trace.
Ooh. I did a little bit more maple syrup than she recommends, and a little bit more bitters because I like bitters. And it's actually pretty good. I don't really like old fashions, but I could see myself sipping this actually.
Yeah, old fashioned is like my go-to, and I wasn't sure exactly what to put in this one, so I ended up doing I think I did Woodford Reserve Double Barrel, and it's pretty good. I'm actually surprised at how good it is. I was pretty skeptical just because, you know, it's a fair amount of it's a lot of whiskey and not a lot of other things, and then it throws in the cayenne in there just to be a little spicy. But if you do enough, like if you do
Much
the
like
just
this podcast.
yes,
It's a little spicy.
if you do the just right amount of cayenne, you taste it at the very back of your throat when like you're sipping it, and not like at the front. So like it's not super spicy heavy when you start drinking it, but it kind of has that aftertaste, which is nice.
Yeah, if you want to know what If you want to know what a TV dinner feels like, you just sip a little bit on this. It'll warm you right up.
Oh. This is a top tier cocktail for me.
This one, yeah. This is pretty good.
I attempted to make the cocktail and created an abomination. It almost felt like when you were a kid and you like combined toothpaste and
Drank
like
a bunch of
bleach
booze.
and a bunch of like stuff in like a cup and just for
Oh,
kicks.
no.
Maybe you guys didn't do that as kids.
No,
you know?
Like in
we did this-
college. Like in college when you just had
Oh my
whatever
God.
you had.
Yeah, so I used Bushmills Irish whiskey.
Okay, well, there's your start. There's your
All
start
right.
of your demise.
I did a shot and a half of that, and I did actually have maple syrup, Meyer maple syrup though.
Nice.
Wait, Meyer maple syrup or Meyer syrup?
Meyer, the grocery store maple
Right.
syrup.
Oh, but it's
Yes.
maple
Okay.
syrup,
Oh,
though.
it is. Okay.
Yes, it is maple
Okay.
syrup. It was like $2.
I was wondering if you put, like, Buttersworth in there or something.
No, no.
Just straight corn syrup with like butter flavor.
So I didn't have cayenne pepper, so I used chili powder.
Oh no.
All right.
I mean, honestly, like, okay, you say all that, but I think your main mistake was using Bushmills. I think that's the only thing.
I didn't have a lemon, so I used an orange.
So
I didn't
did
use a
not
lemon
have
at
a
all.
lemon, but what I used was, you know how you can buy like at the store like a thing of lemon juice.
Yeah.
I used like a few globs of that.
There you go.
I didn't have bitters, so I just used
Threw in
I didn't
toothpaste.
pixie
have bitters,
dust.
so I just fried into the glass.
I didn't have bitters, so instead I used ginger beer. And
Wait, are you serious?
I'm serious. Like I said, a total abomination. It's not even the same
Christ.
cocktail.
Did you finish it?
Oh, Randall.
Oh, of course I did.
Oh, Randall, my
Wow.
man.
Did you try it? How was it?
man.
Did I try it? Yeah, I drank it. I'm not gonna just
Drink
like
the
pour
whole
it down
thing.
the
How
drain.
was it?
No, it was.
Did
it's
you
good. The
try
ginger
it?
beer-
He's
the
like,
ginger
I
beer was
poured.
awesome.
He's like, if I was at a bar, this was like a $10 cocktail. I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah, I mean, all the
You made it
ingredients
to
went in.
I had to go buy all of the ingredients. You think I was not gonna drink it?
Exactly.
You basically made like a Moscow Mule, but you subbed the vodka for Irish whiskey and added chili pepper for some dumb reason.
exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
god.
I told you guys it was an abomination. It was bad.
Did it make your experience of the movie better?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know what? For some, I made like basically made two of them. I got kind of.
You made a second one?
I got ripped watching it.
That's the best way to watch it. I think.
Oh man.
If you want to make your own yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, check the show notes below. Make one. Send us a picture on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod and use the hashtag Cocktails and Classics. We'd love to see what you made. If you make something like Randall made, just pour it right in the drain. You don't even have to suffer through it.
I'm gonna take the picture first because I want to know what it looks
Yeah.
like.
You should. See, here's the thing about weird cocktails like that. It's only weird if you don't write it down and put it in a medium post. If you do that, then it's an official cocktail and you're unique.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Call it the Randall.
If you do make a Randall, tell us what you thought.
I think they have that, and that's actually, if you make that, you get like 15 years in prison, I think.
If you haven't seen Die Hard, it's available on HBO Max right now. So go watch it. Get in the Christmas mood. Sit back, sip on a yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, and enjoy the rest of our show. Die Hard. It's a 1988 film. Directed by John McTiernan. Written by Jeb Stewart. The screenplay. It's based off a book by Roderick Thorpe. It stars Bruce Willis as John McClane and Reginald VelJohnson, who was freaking Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Alan Rickman plays Hans Gruber. It's the story of an NYPD officer who tries to save his wife and several other coworkers taken hostage by German terrorists during a Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza in Los Angeles, California. It sits at an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. It's currently number 125 on IMDb's Top 250. And it was nominated for 4 Oscars, including Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Effects, Sound Effects Editing, Best Effects, Visual Effects. Randall has never seen the film. I believe Ben, Zach, and Cam have. And I have not seen this film before
What?
as well. Yes, I've never seen
Weird.
Die Hard. I've seen Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Or
yeah.
Live Free Die Hard. Which
Those
there's
are
not
both
the
Die
newest
Hard
one.
movies.
Those are both Die Hard
Okay.
movies.
With a Vengeance
Live-
came out in 2005.
That's probably the one I've seen. Is that the one with
Are
there's
you sure? I thought it was Die Hard,
the one-
Die
like, just-
Harder, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard, and then Die Harder.
Listen,
I
if
don't
you're
know.
gonna be a Die Hard expert, I'm gonna turn to you. Oh yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance came out in 95.
Yeah, the Live Free or Die Hard was the 2005 one, I think. Or
Y'all are
whatever.
gonna
Okay,
act
I've
like
seen
I
the one with
didn't-
Justin Long. I've seen the one with Justin Long.
or no.
That would
That
definitely
was
not be
Live
That was
Free,
next
Die
time.
Taxi
Hard.
Cab.
I think you're thinking of
That was
Accepted.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah,
we
no,
just
no, no,
review
no.
Accepted instead. That's a good movie. That's a funny movie.
Oh my god.
Ask me about my wiener.
I have seen Live Free or Die Hard.
Okay.
I have not seen any of the other ones.
All right.
Randall has never seen Die Hard, and I want to know, what did you think on your first viewing of Die Hard?
I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot to say. Maybe there is. I don't know. We can break it down, but I felt like it was just a great movie. Just solid film and good action movie. And I think it holds up pretty well. And I think a lot of people also share the same sentiment. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's universally loved and appreciated. I liked it though.
Yeah, I will say there's not a ton of depth. There's no great character arc development. Hans Gruber doesn't become the good guy. From 15 minutes in, you know what the movie's going to be, but I still think it's super enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that there's something, and I think there's a little bit of one, obviously, with McClane because of his wife, and, we can say it. He became a feminist at the end of the movie, okay? But,
That guy?
What?
Hey, what about the character growth of our pal?
remember he was
Argyle?
like,
Oh,
okay, I
Oh,
said
Argyle,
that in jest, but
dope
for
as
real,
fuck. Don't even shit on Argyle. No, I'm
Argyle
serious
is
about
the unsung hero.
He's my favorite sweater.
I'm serious about Sergeant Powell. Like, he actually grows throughout the movie of like this desk jockey cop who's like thrust into managing this terrorist situation supposedly, and then at the end gets over his fear of shooting people and kills a terrorist.
I want to go back. I want to go back to Cameron's point about how John McClane is a feminist.
okay,
at
all
the
right,
end of
let
the
me
movie.
break it down for you. At the beginning of the movie, John McClane has been living away from his wife and family for 6 months. Okay, why? Because she got a better job, and he refused to be a part of her life after she got a better job and moved to LA to have this great career opportunity. He could have been a cop anywhere, like there's cops in LA, there's cops
No,
everywhere.
he's got 6 months worth of work.
Okay,
backed up.
again,
He's
that
got
just thank you
criminals
for
to catch.
proving my point there. So then, near the end of the movie, he's like, he's not telling this to his wife because he can't talk to her at the moment, but he's basically like, I'm sorry, I should have followed you here. You had a great opportunity. I should have just like came with you here and supported you and all that stuff. So
And at the
I don't
end,
know
he
if
accepts
that makes you a
her
feminist,
decision. He accepts her decision to use her own last name instead of his at the end of the movie, and introduces her as Holly Gennaro. It's at that point she decides to go by Holly McClane. He lets it be her choice.
So he has character development. Okay, he
Literally,
he
the
kind of
whole
gets it near
movie,
the end.
He's just looking at women,
Yep.
staring at them. He's
At
like
the
up on the
beginning-
20th
At the beginning,
floor.
that's before the growth.
Well, they were all
Right, that's
dying off at
pre-growth,
the end. He didn't
pre-growth.
have the opportunity.
He's looking at like the naked Playboy calendars posted up on the elevator shaft. Like, John McClane is not a feminist at all. And literally,
Okay, like I said,
it's like
I said that in mostly in jest, but at the same time, he does have some some growth at the end of the movie. Or near,
I'll say he becomes a better husband.
Yes.
Much like Taxi Driver and
he
Clockwork
becomes
Orange,
a more supportive husband.
John McClane is a shit person the whole movie, and then still gets away at the end because he gets his wife back.
What?
No, I don't get how you
What?
can watch this movie and get that as a takeaway.
I don't know how you can watch the man trying to save all of the people in Nakatomi Plaza and think he's a shit person because of it. He could
Right.
have sat there and done nothing.
He
or
could have
been
left.
that shitbag cokehead who's like, "Oh, let me make a deal with you." No, you know what he did? He took the matters into his own hands and he fought back and he won.
Also, in the beginning of the
Don't
movie,
you talk about Wayne Brady like that.
he could have either ran down. He literally could have run down the exit stairs. Like he literally could have just escaped.
It's for my Let's Make a Deal fans out there.
Yeah. Nice pop culture reference.
I get it.
Man, all the old people who watch Let's Make a Deal at 11 a.m. on NBC during the middle of the day are going to be so amped for that reference, Dylan.
Hey, it's CBS. Okay.
All right, Cameron's upset.
Oh, I've
It
rustled
does
some
come on, I
jimmies,
think,
I'm
at
sorry.
10 a.m. on CBS. Not that I would know. We don't have to talk about it.
Do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie? The age-old discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's referenced so many times, and you even hear some Christmas music, and it's just all. I don't know. There's such a strong Christmas lead off
Yeah.
that I don't know. To me, it's so stupid that it's a debate. Like, just don't even debate it. Whatever. Who cares? Show it around Christmas time. It fits.
Yeah, the
You
people
know,
that think that Die Hard, like, they're staunchly against it being a Christmas movie, you really need to sit down and rewatch it, because the amount of references to Christmas, or like John McClane in the car, like, "Oh, do you have any Christmas music?" Or, you know, it's Christmas Eve. What are we doing? There's too much of that for it not to be more than a backdrop. It's definitely a Christmas movie.
Why can't action movies be Christmas movies?
Exactly.
Is that's like the big, oh, it's an action movie, it's not a Christmas movie. Why can't it be both? Why not? This movie is about a
Volcano
man.
Los Dos.
This movie is about a man trying to keep his family safe and together on Christmas Eve. And if that's not a Christmas movie, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, I just feel like the people that want to argue are just kind of like douchey film bros. And I'm sorry, Cam actually hasn't expressed his opinion yet. And if he feels like it's not a Christmas movie, I'm sorry for calling you
get it
a
out now.
douchey film bro. But it's just, I don't know.
Definitely
It's like
not-
you're
I
trying to
definitely would not
ruffle
qualify
feathers.
myself as a film bro.
They're simps, Randall. They're simps.
Like you're just trying to ruffle feathers just to ruffle feathers.
See,
and
I
that, to
feel
me,
like
I'm not cool with whatever.
See, I feel kind of the opposite. I feel like if like people who are very, I almost said people who feel very diehard that this is a Christmas movie. But
and
people
you-
who are
and you
very
neglect
adamant
it?
that this is a Christmas movie, I feel like oftentimes they're the ones that want to ruffle feathers because it's like it's an action movie. At the same time, though, I will say, going into watching this movie, I've only seen it like one time, and I wasn't like, you know, fully watching it per se. Like it was just kind of on, and I was like passively watching it. Going into this, I was like, this is not a Christmas movie. I can kind of see how you could say that, but I don't think it is. But after watching it again, I think I've changed my mind a little bit. I think you could make a pretty strong argument that it is a Christmas movie. Like Zach said, there's just too many themes in here. You know, references, and even like you said, like there's music, the score in the background of the movie. You know, they play like Ode to Joy in part of it, I think. I don't know. There's too much Christmas in the movie for the argument to not be made.
He turns the one German guy's gray sweatshirt into a solid Christmas sweater by writing
does.
ho 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 on it.
Yeah.
And throws a Santa hat on him. Yeah, I always thought the argument was kind of just like, oh, it takes place on Christmas and that sort of thing. But after watching the movie, I'm like, I mean, there's Christmas music. There's a lot of references throughout the movie. Like, I was like, definitely, I mean, it's a Christmas movie. It might not have your like lighthearted themes of family and, you know, togetherness and the holidays and that sort of stuff. But I mean, it's all there. I do think it is a Christmas movie.
If you want to point at action movies that take place at Christmas time but are not Christmas movies, I would say point that cannon at Lethal Weapon, but don't come at Die Hard like that.
Never seen Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon is an action movie that takes place at Christmas time. But like there's maybe like
Interesting.
one or like at one point you see Christmas lights in a Christmas tree, but like there's not a lot about it that screams Christmas. The other thing I wanted to bring up, is it just me or is it pretty crazy how quickly he adapts to being in this plaza that like he's not supposed to know where anything is? Like John McClane goes full Kevin McAllister in this bitch, setting traps and shit.
I was gonna say that,
and it's like
Home Alone.
motherfucker, you just got here. You got here 20 minutes before these bad guys.
You'd think that based on his actions in this movie, John McClane's like was part of SEAL Team 6 and is just like this badass who can like, but he's just like a New York cop. Like, not saying that's a bad thing, but like, you know, he's just like a uniformed cop.
That's one thing that the movie was praised for, was that John McClane isn't I guess at the time with action movies, there was these wow, I really butchered my words there. There were these movies where the male protagonist was this insane, perfectly sculpted human like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they couldn't do anything wrong, and they were just perfect human beings, just like lighting up the place with a machine gun. But this is a little different. There are still machine guns, but there are more faults with Bruce Willis's character. Also, I wanted to tell a small anecdote that when I was in 9th grade, I went through driver's training, and my driver's ed teacher, when I signed up, I didn't know what his name was, and it was John McClane. I swear to God.
Wow.
I signed up with John McClane, and I literally had the thought, because like I had never seen the movies, but I knew enough about them to know, and I was like, wait, am I signing up with the guy from Die Hard? And this guy couldn't be more opposite of John McClane. He was like the biggest nerd and dork, and he was a legend.
Randall, I need to
No
talk to you
way.
after this to find out if we're from the same area.
No
Because,
way.
Lincoln Park.
okay, my algebra teacher was named John McClane, and he used to teach driver's ed. And
Oh, no way.
big, dorky, nerdy guy,
What?
aviator glasses.
What the fuck?
Yes. Yes, that's him.
Yep, my algebra teacher was Randall's driving instructor.
That's amazing.
Did we just become best friends?
You guys want to make a bunk bed?
He used to wear this Star Trek Enterprise belt buckle.
He always had this
And-
brown briefcase when I knew him. That's what he was known for.
And a lab coat, a burgundy lab coat.
Yeah,
he
I've
would
seen
wear.
that.
Yes, that is so hype. Oh my
is
gosh,
awesome.
this guy's a legend.
my
I'm not
God.
that crazy
Oh my God.
person over here
This is
who's like, I
awesome.
swear this guy was real.
Yeah, my junior or senior year of high school, he was forced to retire. One of those teachers that was like good at their job, so can't have them hanging around.
Oh no.
Wow.
Interesting note about this movie was that, as you said, it's a book. I believe it's in a series of books. And the first novel of this series was turned into a movie in like the 1960s or 70s. The sequel, which became Die Hard, was in development for like a decade. And at the time that the first movie was made, they basically offered the role to Frank Sinatra to reprise. And by the time they started making this movie, Sinatra was still supposedly attached to this movie for a while. And then it got to the point where they're like, no, seriously, like, no, you can't have like an 80-year-old Frank Sinatra climbing around the ductwork in that. So it became this thing. And Bruce Willis was basically a TV actor at the time. And when he was cast for this like action hero role, people were like, no, he's not an action star. And this movie really kind of helped change the idea of what you could do with an action hero.
Any memorable scenes or quotes? Obviously, there's the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. But any scenes or quotes that stood out to you?
I got something that I want to say about the EPKA motherfucker real quick. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the censored, like rated R movies
No.
for TV, where they'll like abridge certain, they'll like censor F-bombs, and with that one they say yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon, which
What?
I love so much.
Mr.
Falcon.
Falcon.
Who? Oh my god. That's funny.
Yeah, I always liked in I think it's Snakes on a Plane. It's like these monkey farming snakes on this Monday through Friday plane or something like
Oh
that.
my god.
I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Oh my god.
And then there's one from Pulp Fiction where Samuel L. Jackson says, "I got my eyes wide, focused, open."
Oh my god. Oh man, that's creative. That's creative. Like, who comes up with that?
I wonder who just like sits there.
You guys, the best one though, I think, is from The Big Lebowski, and it's when gosh, I can't think of his name, but John Goodman's character is like beating the crap out of this car with a hockey stick, and he's yelling, Walter, this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps, and it's censoring. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
It's so weird. That doesn't mean anything. Literally means nothing. Wow.
I does it just have to? I imagine it just has to like match the mouth movement or something. I guess, or are they just literally looking for words that start with an F and an S and
Yeah.
have no point.
I would love to have that job of like, okay, find creative ways to work around these swear words.
Yeah,
Mr.
so
Falcon's great.
So here's the script for this R-rated movie. Okay, your job is to replace all the curse words. Okay. But like you can't make it sound anything remotely like a curse word. All right. Yeah, pay me to do that. I'm all about that. That's got to be good money.
It's got to be an intern's job. They have to stick that with the interns, put all the pressure on them. I mean, I got one that I think there's a lot of great little one-liners that McClane has, and one of the first ones you hear is the when he tries to call the cops, and the woman on the other end is like, "Whoever you are, this is a secure line for emergency calls only." And John McClane, "No fucking shit, lady. Does it sound like I'm ordering a pizza?"
Yeah.
Their little
Arrest
exchange
me.
gets
that
me.
one.
She's like, yeah, this is really is for emergency lines only. He's like, fine, call the cops. Come down here and arrest me. I'm at Nakatomi Plaza.
We're going to have to report you to the FCC. Report me. Arrest me. Send someone down here to come get me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite lines is from Holly Gennaro McClane when the one guy comes in and he's like smashing shit. He's smashing like the table full of glasses. And the pregnant lady's like, man, he looks pissed. And Holly's like, oh, he's still alive. What? Oh, only John can drive somebody that crazy. Like, that's 100% something I fully expect to hear someone say about their significant other.
What about Theo? He was one of the terrorists who's like monitoring the cameras and doing the lockpicking and stuff. He's like, all right, listen up, guys. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring except the four assholes coming in the rear in standard 2x2 cover formation. Also, clearly a
That was a good
Christmas
line.
movie, right? Come on. It's not just like snowing in the background. They're reciting the night
Right.
before Christmas here.
I just want to say they paint the FBI as total fucking idiots. Like the whole time,
yeah.
like they're warmongers. Basically, they're like, we might lose 25% of the hostages. That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Reminds me of Saigon, right? I was
in
What did
junior
you-
high, asshole.
Yeah.
I like to
God,
have more faith
that was
in
funny.
the FBI than what was shown in the movie. The movie's very anti-FBI.
The FBI's
Yeah.
had a
They're
bad
like,
run
they're
as
going to
of
cut the
late.
power exactly like we want them to.
Like they're just total dicks. They like show up and they're like, yeah, I'm Johnson, and he's Johnson, no relation.
I'm in control of the scene. Not anymore.
Did you guys? So there was an old episode of South Park. I can't remember how. It was a long time ago, where the guys play detective agency or something, and so like
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
they're playing and like they're solving some sort of nonsensical thing, and they're like they finish everything, and then like the rich kids show up, and they're like, wait, we're in charge of this. Not anymore. We're the FBI. And they're all like decked out in sunglasses and suits. And that's just what this movie, I'm like, oh, okay, this is exactly where they got this. Like, no, you're not in charge anymore because we have more money and we're the FBI. I also love the scene with, oh my God, now I can't remember his name, Ellis. When John first shows up and he's talking, he's with Takagi and they walk into the office and Ellis is sitting there and he's like, this is Holly's husband. He's a cop. And he's just like, yeah, you missed a bit. Like, it's super obvious. He was just doing a line of coke in the office. And John's just like, yeah, you missed some. And he's like, oh, I was just looking at files.
Yeah, I wrote down, is this what it's like working in an office building in the 80s? That's like the stereotype.
Yeah, two
Just
people were
coke
banging
everywhere.
in an office. That was insane.
Yeah, I know.
to
They were
me.
in the
I'm
bathroom. and
Like, oh my God, like
That was weird.
Christmas
No
parties,
way.
man.
I
I mean,
What
if
are
you
gonna do?
believe Wolf of Wall Street, then yeah. That's
I haven't
about what
seen
it was
that
like.
movie.
It's a good movie.
Next week. Stay tuned.
Wow, I just got it spoiled for me. Thank you.
What?
Yep, that was the spoiler. You're right.
The whole movie.
You
The
nailed
whole
it,
movie is
Randall.
two people fucking in office.
I'm just messing around. I know that there's a lot of promiscuity going on and
A lot of drugs.
Wolf
And
Wall
if you
Street.
wanted to
lot of
watch,
stocks.
if you wanted to watch DiCaprio and Margot Robbie go at it for 3 hours, I mean,
That's
Wolf of
not
Wall
what the
Street's where it's
movie
gonna
is,
happen.
But
That sounds pretty good.
you want to watch
Sounds hot.
Leonardo DiCaprio pretend he's super high on Quaaludes, then that's the movie for you.
pretend.
Quaaludes is such a funny word.
It is. I know. I love saying it. Quaaludes.
So this week's podcast is brought to you by Surfside Sips. They make high-impact glass straws. They're a family-owned company, and what's better than saving the turds? You know.
The turds.
The turds.
You know, I'm one of those people who hates using paper straws. Paper straws fucking
Paper straws
suck.
suck.
I
They are
love
the worst
what
solution.
they do. I love that we're minimizing the use of plastic straws. I enjoy that. Paper straws suck ass.
They suck. They're the worst possible solution because turns out, guess what? Paper and water don't fucking mix, okay? I don't know who came up with it, but it doesn't work. Even though they put coating on it to try and help, it doesn't work. It just gets soggy and you end up throwing it away anyway, and that's just more waste. And so,
But you know what doesn't get soggy? Glass.
yeah.
Glass straws from Surfside Sips. And if you want to get some glass straws from Surfside Sips, you can use coupon code cocktails and classics spelled out. That's cocktails AND classics for 20% off your order.
And if you're looking for a business to support during this time, seems like a good idea. Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, ranging from bestsellers to celebrity memoirs, news, business, and self-development. But essentially what it is every month you get 1 credit to pick any title, plus 2 Audible originals from their monthly selection. So, Dylan and Zach, what are your experiences with Audible?
So, working from home nowadays, I recently used Audible to rip through one of my favorite book series. It's always great to go back and revisit some of your favorites.
And since we've recently done From Russia with Love, you could check out some of Ian Fleming's books on Audible. They have Dan Stevens, Toby Stevens, Damian Lewis, many great narrators. Read through Diamonds Are Forever, From Russia with Love, Live and Let Die. So maybe you want to get into the James Bond novels as well as the movies.
To start your free 30-day trial, go to audibletrial.com/cocktails and classics, all lowercase. Again, that's audible.com/cocktails, AND classics. After your free trial is up, it costs $14.95 per month. However, there are no commitments, and if you can't decide what to listen to, that's okay. You can roll your credits over up to 1 year.
Well, Cam and Randall, you can. And Ben, did you play against Randall? Did you play some trivia against?
I played against Randall back in college. At the old Tower Inn.
We can revive the rivalry, the cross group rivalry here.
Yeah, there's a lot of rivalry. I have rivalries with Cam and Ben. Wow,
And those old
are-
guys that hang out at the bar on Tuesdays.
I don't have my friends with me here. I'm. The truth is, I'm not good at trivia, but my friends are.
That's okay. You can bond with Zach over John McClane driver's ed / algebra teacher.
That's true. At least we have that, and you can't take that away from us. Damn it.
You may know, Randall, but a little bit of a tradition around here is Zach will take over and throw us through a trivia quiz. So, Zach, what do you got for us on Die Hard?
I gotta tell you, I was kind of worried there. You guys were ruining a few of my trivia questions, and by you guys, I mean Ben. I still got plenty though, and some really good ones. The first one I'll give it to you. Question 1, including Frank Sinatra, how many celebrities turned down the role of John McClane before Bruce Willis accepted it? Is it A 4, B 8, or C 12?
I'll go B.
I was going to ask, did you want to go first,
12?
second, or third, Randall? Well, I guess fourth even, since there's 4 of us here.
I'm calling the shots.
But, oh, shit.
All right.
Look, I like Randall's confidence, but he's dead wrong. It's definitely 12. C, final answer. I'm just kidding. I don't know, but we're going to find out. This is going to look really good if I'm correct, but really bad if I'm not.
The way you guys kind of talked about how he was like a TV star and that he wasn't made for it makes me want to say that he would have been pretty low on the totem pole, making it like 12, but
12's a lot.
that is a lot.
But at the same time, it sounds like the movie had been kicking around in development for a while, too.
I know of a couple. You know, I'm going to side with Cam here, and I'm also going to say 12. I think Bruce was like last choice, and they're like, shit, let's go with this guy, I guess.
So I'm probably way off base, but I think I'm gonna go with 4, and I think it's because they were with Sinatra for such a long time that like by the time he turned it down, they had just like a short list of other people, and I think from the start they kind of wanted a more everyman, so that kind of ruled out like the Schwarzenegger and Stallone aspect of it. Oh, I think they saw Bruce Willis on Moonlighting and were like, you know what, we can make something out of that, and he was like the 4th person overall, so I'm gonna say 4, or he was the 5th, I guess.
Well, if Ben's correct, the other two were Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, though, because those two both turned it down.
So, after Sinatra turned it down, the following actors also turned down the role of John McClane: Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, Robert De Niro, Charles Bronson, Nick Nolte,
Well,
Mel
I'm out.
Gibson, Richard Gere, Don Johnson,
Yes!
Burt Reynolds,
It's
Clint
12.
Eastwood, and Richard Dean Anderson, who I actually had to look up, played MacGyver.
Oh.
Wow. That's, for them to go an everyday man, that's a lot of big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ben said, I mean, Moonlighting, Bruce Willis won 2 Emmys for basically a comedy. Like, he was not an action star at the time. This movie is what made him an action star.
Interesting.
So, to recap, that puts Cameron and Dylan at 1 point apiece, and Ben and Randall tied at 0.
All right, delete that. We're just gonna delete my answer.
We're going to run it back.
And we're gonna start fresh with the
All right.
next question.
Question 1. Which famous
ideas.
singer had first dibs on playing the role of John McClane? A. Patrick Swayze, B. Michael Jackson, or C. Frank Sinatra?
Michael
Patrick
Jackson.
Swayze wasn't
You
even a
imagine?
famous singer. Why is he the number 1 on your list?
Oh, I guess
You
I'm glad I
couldn't
didn't.
You could
Listen,
pick a
I
different
had-
singer?
Trick
I
question
dug into
D.
the
Paul
history a lot on
McCartney.
that one.
Can we just take a moment and appreciate Michael Jackson playing this character in Die Hard at 1988?
He would have lit the lighter. He would have lit the lighter in the vent and probably caught fire.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
Oh, question number 2. And this one is really our bread and butter. I expect you guys to get this one.
It's an
Oh,
inflation
fucking
question.
It is not an inflation question. How many pre-1989, it's important, Playboy Playmates are seen in the film?
Oh my god.
A, 1, B, 2, or C, 3? And I'll have you know, in my show notes, I actually used the wrong scene. So I'm fixing that now.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with B2.
Bonus points if you can name them.
I cannot.
Oh, well, actually, I
Hell
can.
no. Jeez, I don't know. I'm gonna say 1.
That would be, what was it last time? Wasn't the meme like it was the same person?
I
What?
don't remember what you're talking about.
In
The last
Yes.
meme I was thinking of was when you guys pretended for a good hour and a half of a podcast you didn't know who Abella Danger was. That was
Okay,
the meme
I,
was
do,
thinking
I
of.
did not know who. I still don't really know, but I know from you telling me.
I'm afraid I do know.
But.
in Doctor Strangelove, this
Yes.
was the same question, and
Uh-huh.
the actress was also
was
the one in the
movie
magazine.
and in the magazine,
believe,
so it was
yes.
a trick question.
I don't do trick questions. You guys should know that by now. The questions are very straightforward. The answers are almost always correct.
That's really what you want out of your trivia questions, to be almost always correct.
Speaking of Playboy, and we haven't talked about this yet, but Dylan is wearing a white bathrobe.
No,
like
that's
Hugh
usually-
Hefner
that's-
over there.
That's
That's
We're
not
having
usually
I
to
what
will
talk
give
it's
you
about
the
it
full,
at all.
the full experience.
Like a goddamn
I don't-
white trash Hugh Hefner.
That's a usual attire for Dylan. That's not surprising.
I was gonna give you the full Cocktails and Classics experience. This is how we record.
Yeah,
I'm usually in my robe.
Dylan comes in a robe like 70% of the time.
Wow, that's pretty hype. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
It's something.
It's a tremendous amount of respect right there.
It's something. Thanks,
Love
Cameron.
a
I
good
appreciated
robe.
that.
I was gonna say 3 C. I think there's a lot of Playboy models in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2, and I think the reason he said 1989 is because this movie came out in '88, and I'm gonna guess probably someone like the actress who played Holly probably got like some sort of feature or something the next year after the movie had come out, as soon as it came out at Christmas time. So I'm gonna guess that it was only 2, and then that's the meme, is that the third one came afterwards. Zach with the classic trick question.
Randall said 2. Ben said 2. Cameron said 2.
No,
Yes.
I said 1. I said
You
one.
said 1. And Dylan said 3. You guys, I really appreciate you trying to play the meme to come up with the answer, but you didn't play enough memes. The very first Playboy model that you see, there's the centerfold, the woman in the magazine, in the elevator, the air vent that John McClane's navigating through. Her name is Pamela Stein. She was the Playboy Playmate
Yes,
of the
I
Month,
know her well.
November 1987.
Yes, a classic issue.
There's also May 1982 star Kim Malin, who was caught having sex with one of the hostages.
All right, that was my other one.
And the third one is the July 1988 Playmate of the Month, Terry Lynn Dawes, who played the woman at the airport who runs past McClane to hug another one of the passengers.
That was my exact
Oh my God.
thought process
What
too.
for the
the
second,
hell?
Perfectly.
the second layer of the meme. There were no Playmates after 1988.
No.
Oh,
The 1989 was there to throw you off.
Really? Oh.
I thought it was Bruce Willis. Centerfold model.
I figured the one in the airport and the one that was caught having sex in one of the rooms, and I almost kind of that was, if there were 3, I figured those 2 and the one in the magazine.
All right, that gives Dylan a
Damn.
commanding 2-point lead over most of you and a 1-point lead over Cameron. Now, for question number 3, I need to go a bit meta because we said some things during the podcast that were not correct.
Namely, Ben did.
I can ask you the trivia regarding that thing, or I can ask you a different trivia question. Or, because we have an extra member, we could do both.
Let's do both.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. Where was Bruce Willis born? A, America, B, Germany, or C, the Soviet Union?
Wow. Weird.
Came up with this one myself, by the way.
I'm gonna go with B, Germany, just because I've guessed B for the other 2. So
I've noticed that. You got a pattern.
Will be the third one.
Say what you want about Randall. He's very quick on the draw.
Did you usually guess B during John McClane's tests in school?
Oh my God! Well, I drive
Because I did.
can't even remember. Can't even remember. I was in a daze the whole time.
I don't think you're supposed to drive like that.
No, I was good. I was just, a lot of Quaaludes.
Lots of Quaaludes.
Randall would come out of a
Um,
back office like, I was doing some files.
Just ripping cigs and doing construction, my guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna also say Germany as well.
His name cannot be Bruce Willis then. Like, if he's not from America, I feel like Bruce Willis is a very it's like Alan Smith name. like he came over here and got a stage name. I feel like, I don't know.
Maybe he was born on base or something.
Oh shit.
Oh, don't tell him that, Randall. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want him to know. He would have
The amount
sold
that
out.
you guys help each other is one of my favorite parts of the podcast. I love putting questions together where you guys can help each other but still get it wrong.
and
Those
still
are my
get it wrong.
favorites.
Well, if he was born on base, in that scenario, it's got to be Germany then, because it's like post. I don't know how old Bruce Willis is, but I'm thinking like post World War II. Germany is still split into East and West Berlin. He's probably.
Oh, but
born
then
in
you
Germany.
are you asking about which modern day country, or are you asking at the time? Because if that's the case, he would have said
Oh,
East or
shit.
West Germany, and now you guys are fucked.
I'm asking you what country Bruce Willis was born in. And if it would help you, I will give you the year.
No, you don't have to.
Also, it does not matter because East or West Germany is always Germany. It's not like it was never part of the Soviet Union officially. It was just under Soviet control. So that's not really applicable.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to go with the other. Was it the Soviet? You said the Soviet Union?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
I think
anymore.
I'm gonna go Germany.
So, let me tell you guys, working together really helped you. Bruce Willis was born to an American father and a German mother
Nice.
on base in West Berlin, which actually makes him more German than like the UK-born Alan Rickman and his number 2 Soviet-born. His name is Karl. The actor's name is Alexander Gadjanov. So yes, Bruce Willis was born in Germany,
Interesting.
Swish.
1955.
Buckets.
All
Sad
right,
that
so
Dylan voted with us though.
Yeah, that's why I had to
Game.
swing. That's why I had to swing for the fences on Russia.
Get
Sometimes,
fucked, Ben. Get fucked.
Hey, sometimes you gotta play the game. Well,
Sometimes you
Dylan
play
would
the
have been
game
wrong
to
if
lose,
someone
you know?
if someone wouldn't have given him the army base idea. You just wrecked yourself. Congratulations. You gave him a 3-0 lead over you.
Joke's on you. Dylan and I are in cahoots.
Well, no, Cam has
Randall's
a
got one.
point. Or Cam has 2 points.
I have 2. I have 2 points. I'm only
Yeah.
1 point behind, baby.
Yeah.
The only person who doesn't have any points, actually, after sweeping last week, is Ben. So the fourth question, and these ones always get me excited and nervous when we talk about them during the show, but pre-trivia.
Very hot and bothered Zach gets. during the
yes.
Show.
Question number 4. Score recap, by the way. Dylan has 3 points, Cam has 2, Randall has 1, and Ben has 0.
Yeet.
Bad
Question number
goose egg.
4. In the TV edit, what was the famous Yippee-Ki-Yay line changed to?
Oh no.
Was it A, Yippee-Ki-Yay Melon Farmer, B, Yippee-Ki-Yay Musty Father, or C, Yippee-Ki-Hey Merry Christmas?
I feel like this is a tough question because I feel like different networks use different things. Because I feel like I've heard like 4 or 5 different.
I know what Randall was talking about earlier, and I promise you it's not Die Hard.
Oh.
We'll get into it after.
I mean, I kind of want it to be Yippee-Ki-Yay. Merry
I
Christmas.
want it to be 3. I want it to be C so bad, but Dylan needs to pick first since
I'm
he's in the
gonna
lead.
go first.
No,
No, that's not the game.
No, this is
No.
my game now.
That's not how you. No,
Look at
no.
me.
We
Look at
don't
me.
do
This
that
is
here.
my podcast now.
Nah, so
We don't do
so
that here.
since I'm in the lead, I'll go first,
don't do
and
that
then
here.
you guys can play the game based off of me, basically. I'm gonna go with Yippee-Ki-Yay Melon Farmer.
Fuck. That's the answer I would like to also go with, but I can't because it won't matter if I do. I'm gonna go with Hey Merry Christmas. I feel like that'd be funny. I don't think that's right, but God, I want it to be.
That's the one I want it to be. But
Right, that's the one I want it to be, but I don't think it's that. For the record, I do think it's the Melon Farmer, but I'm gonna go with Merry Christmas.
I think it's Melon Farmer. I'm gonna go with A.
I'm also going to
All
go
right.
with Melon Farmer.
Randall does not go with B. And in a turn of events, Ben got one correct.
yeah.
Wow.
The answer is Yippee-Ki-Yay Melon
Yeah.
Farmer.
I wanted to go against the grain, but at the same time, I didn't want to put a goose egg on that scoreboard. So sometimes you got to hold an L, but you can't go winless. It's just bad.
You can
Two
either hold a
things.
big L or a slightly smaller L. But it is still a large L.
For the second week in a row, somebody had a clean sweep in the trivia. This time it was
Bust out
Dylan.
the broom.
Got
It's
all
because
four
Dylan
correct.
cheated. Just wait till next week.
The second thing, Yippee-Ki-Yay Mr. Falcon that Randall brought up earlier, is the TV edit for Die Hard 2.
Wow.
Whoa. I'm sorry, guys. I lied to all of you.
Our podcast is just one big misinformation thing.
And I didn't even know. I
Also,
thought it was
the
first.
Can't even
accent
post
dub
this to
is
Twitter.
You
really
just blew
bad.
Randall's mind
I'll-
forever. He's going to have to go back to all those people he told that to and apologize.
So Dylan's our winner. Clean sweep.
Congratulations, Dylan.
Thanks.
I hate you.
Thanks. I'm sorry you couldn't win, Randall.
I'm going to stack
You
the
came
I'm
on
doing
here-
the trivia next week and I'll stack the questions against you.
Randall, don't worry about it. I've also never won.
If you win, do you get a bathrobe? What's
Yes,
what's
yes.
the prize?
You get one IKEA bathrobe.
Apparently mine got lost in the mail from last week.
All the like 10 that I won got lost in the mail.
Actually,
as
I
well.
think what happens is there's just one, and we have to ship it to
the
winner.
It's the Brotherhood of the
Yes.
Traveling Bathrobe.
Which gets kind of expensive.
Good thing I wear it naked. So.
Yeah.
I wash it when I get it, so it's fine.
Oh
No, this is like a cast iron skillet. You're not supposed to wash it.
Really,
I've seasoned it really well for you guys.
really soaks in the flavor.
Yeah, you're supposed to just rinse it off with water and then coat it in some oil, and then you call it good.
I rinse mine off with water and ship it to the next guy.
The aroma is called Musty Father.
Before the movie, those of us who have seen it, we wrote down our ratings based off memory and nostalgia. And now I want to know if your rating has changed or not. And since Randall and I have never seen the movie, we'll go first.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's good. You can nitpick a lot of the anti-feminism and the xenophobia ad nauseum, but you could also call it propaganda, I'm sure. And,
I like that. I like that.
No.
Propaganda.
But yeah, it's a good action movie. It's a simple plot. The bad guys are bad. There's no question. You want to see them lose. They lose, and it's hype. And the cop from Family Matters is in it, and he's great. And yeah, I give it an 8.
That cop from Family Matters is such a genuine guy.
Carl Winslow's a G.
Hey, all he wanted to do was take home some Hostess cakes for his pregnant wife.
Just Twinkies.
Or himself. I don't know if we.
But he
We
did
have
kill a
not, yeah.
kid, so that was not cool on him. But
He didn't kill a kid.
He did
Yes,
kill
he
a
did.
kid.
Oh, that's
He
right. I'm
said he
sorry. I'm
did.
sorry. You're right. I thought you were talking about the dude at the end.
Oh no,
the film.
he killed
No, you're right. He
California Jesus.
He did kill a 13-year-old, which is bad.
So I had never seen Die Hard. I don't think it deserves an 8.3 out of 10 at all.
Uh-oh.
It is a cheesy POS, in my opinion.
Whoa.
I
Coming
think
from
it's-
somebody who loved Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah,
Indiana Jones.
it's. I think it's a good
And Heathers.
action movie, but I think it's just so campy, and that doesn't make it a good movie. I'll actually probably never watch it again.
It doesn't want you to watch it.
That's fine. Action, it's not necessarily my cup of tea. Like, did I enjoy watching this movie? Yeah, it was all right, but it's just not. It's not good. Like
Dylan's-
it's like
Dylan's carrying on that Kevin Smith-ish right now, and he's straight up holding a grudge.
no. I
This is
just
for my boy Kevin. 2 out of 10.
I just think
This is for my.
This is for
this
Kevin.
is for my. This is for my dude, man, Kev Smith.
no.
Zach
I
Kev
just
Smith.
think when you think of like action movies, and I feel like you guys are kind of like, oh, it's kind of like the anti-action movie. I'm like, no, it's literally just like Commando, just like all these other like 80s and early 90s like cheesy action movies. Like the fucking part where Hans Gruber at the end is like holding on to her wrist and he like just undoes the Rolex and he like falls. It's awful, man.
It's a callback to earlier when she doesn't want
Yes,
to wear
when
the
they're
Rolex.
like, oh, he's got the Rolex watch. Yeah, no,
yeah, but she doesn't want to wear it to begin with. It's a callback, Dylan.
I understand.
I don't
the
think you
callback.
did.
That doesn't
Dylan has
make
the
it
memory
good.
Of a goldfish. He can't remember past like the past 3 minutes.
so
Yes, I get. Yes, the movie does good job with the callbacks. Like, oh, he takes his socks off and pulls his feet into balls once he gets off the airplane. So that's why he's shoeless the whole movie. And then they shoot the glass, so he has to walk through glass for his wife. He'd walk through broken glass. This total simp will walk through broken glass for this woman.
And we're back to sim shaming.
Oh
Welcome
my
back to the
God.
Cocktails and Classics
I'm ju-
podcast.
I'm just going on one there, but no, it's not for me. I'm sure people will enjoy it. It is a Christmas movie,
Had to throw
and
that in
it's
there.
some people's cup of tea, I'm sure. But I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. It's just I didn't really enjoy it that much.
one other thing I wanted to say was that the practical effects in that movie are fantastic, and they shot on location, which is also pretty dope. And so when I see stuff like that, that like gets me fired up about a movie, and I add bonus points to that. So
That's fair.
So I would say, based on script and everything, I'd give it a 7. But like, just that extra oomph of practicals and just how authentic it all felt in the action sequences, I give it an extra point for an 8. Anyways, I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, actually, shooting on location actually kind of fucked over the Fox Tower a little bit, the Fox Plaza. Make sure I got the name right. Yeah, the Fox Plaza, because they had to enforce like a 0 photo policy because people, it's a public building, you just drive by and take a photo of it. I will say this movie belongs in like the top tier of action movies. I don't know if it's the greatest ever made, but I will say I enjoyed a lot more than movies like a Rambo or a Commando because of the differentiator is John McClane is an average guy. He's not this superhero basically in camo clothing. Do I think the movie is the greatest thing ever made? No, but I don't think that's what action movies are going for. I think action movies, similar to most horror movies, know what they are. They know what they have to be successful in their genre. And sometimes I think that's a limiter. In this case, it's an enjoyable movie. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, so I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm gonna watch it again, but are there movies that we've seen that I'll watch again before Die Hard? Definitely.
Yeah.
I will say, like, yes, I understand it's an action movie and like all that, but like the one guy who like John killed all his friends, and then he's like, I'm gonna get vengeance. Literally has John at gunpoint, and then just like decides to fucking fist fight the guy instead of like actually just shooting him.
Yeah,
He
that's
wants
kind of
it-
weird.
he
Why would
wants
you
it
not kill him?
Because he wants to kill him with his bare hands. He killed his brother.
Cops
The
have
downfall
rules.
of every enemy in every fucking action movie. I have to make this painful for
Yeah.
you.
Or hero in some movies or TV shows.
Yeah, I mean, how many times?
You know, I'm
do we
more of
see
a Hans Gruber man myself. I wish he would have killed John. You know, whatever. We wouldn't have had all the other ones.
Anyway, to riff on what Zach said, I do agree about the action movies. I really do like a good action movie, but I hate when action movies just try to pretend that there's something more than that. Like, I think that in order for an action movie to be good, it kind of has to acknowledge that it's an action movie and not something more, and try and like do a ton of like it can have plot obviously, but not like a ton of like convoluted plot or character development or any of that stuff. So I really like the John Wick movies because, there's some character stuff in there, but there's not, it's only to establish who he is, and the rest of it's just like, pretty much pure plot action, like the whole time, all 3 movies, like, and entirely for those ones, I think the entire plot line takes course over the matter of like 2 or 3 weeks. So, and I think this movie was like that. I think that it was a really good action movie, and I think that they did a good job with it. I think that the plot was simple, as you said, and the action sequences were good, and it wasn't too over the top with the action sequences, but also like it didn't try and shove a bunch of stuff in my face I didn't care about. Like, we're watching Die Hard here, So originally when I rated this before, I gave it like maybe like a 6, but honestly I'm gonna bump it up to a 7. I enjoyed it way more this second time actually watching it, and I did change my mind. I think you can argue that this is a Christmas movie.
So, going into this movie, I had it at about a 7. I loved this movie growing up, but the last time I had seen it, it didn't hold as much of the nostalgia for me. But it's still just it's a fun movie. It's a popcorn flick. It's a movie you put on, you sit, you just kind of kick back and enjoy it. You don't go to watch this movie for a cinematic masterpiece. With that said, I do love that it does take kind of the everyman, and it kind of puts it on the one man can make a difference type deal of it. Maybe one person can do something, but it doesn't require him to have to look like he eats lightning and craps thunder, to quote Mick from Rocky. He doesn't have to look chiseled out of marble or like he spends 80 hours a day in the gym.
Is that from Rocky 4?
Which one?
It's
to
just
eat
on
lightning and
marble and
crap
spends
thunder?
80 days in the gym.
Oh,
No,
it
the
was
first one's
80
from
hours
Rocky
a day. No, I don't. The other one's not from a Rocky movie.
Are those from
But-
Rocky 4?
I also, rewatching this, I do really like kind of the, it's an external dialogue because it's not narrated over, but it's all like in his, him talking to himself, talking him through what he's doing, and he's openly admits that what he's doing is fucking stupid. He shouldn't be doing it, but he kind of feels like he has the sense to do it. I do agree with Randall. Yes, I would call this movie kind of a propaganda movie, but so many of the action movies of the time were. I mean, that was kind of the bread and butter of the action movie genre. But I still love this movie. By God, it's a Christmas movie. It earns its spot as the Christmas action movie. Everyone, check it out. Watch it at least once. If you like Home Alone, this is like Home Alone with guns and shit. It's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna bump it up from a 7 to a 7.5. Yeah, I'll watch this movie plenty of more times in the future.
Randall, where can people find you? Where can people find the things you do?
I just recently got on Instagram, and that's Instagram/Randall Floyd Cooper. And then I also have a subreddit that's just r/Randall Cooper, where I post my dumb stories.
Oh, dumb stories. Those are my favorite kinds.
Dumb stories. Oh yeah, just a lot of ridiculousness, humorous dialogue, outrageous situations.
A lot of goofs, a lot of gaffes.
Some fan fiction.
A lot of
here's one.
a lot of ha-has
that we
and
are not allowed to
guffaws.
talk about in our Audible ad.
The boy
This
under
is-
the stairs?
This one is no. It's an American in Hogwarts.
Oh yeah,
So-
very popular series.
Yeah,
Wow,
part 25.
26.
Very popular.
Jesus.
Everyone has been so supportive of it, and there've been like, I don't know. They just keep wanting more every week, so people like it.
Don't forget to rate and subscribe, and check out Randall, Instagram, his subreddit, read his shit, listen to his shit. He makes some tunes. Hit us up on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod. Use the hashtag Cocktails and Classics to send us your movie and drink recommendations.
Thanks for tuning in. Smash that like button.
Smash that MF like button.
But as always, watch responsibly.